Few individuals in modern history have so dramatically reshaped the geopolitical map as Muhammad Ali Jinnah, the founder of Pakistan. Through a blend of legal brilliance, political tenacity, and unwavering conviction, Jinnah led the Indian Muslim community through turbulent decades of colonial rule, nationalist movements, and communal divisions, ultimately forging a new nation on the basis of religious identity. Jinnah's life, full of contradictions, achievements, and intellectual rigor, reflects the larger saga of South Asia's colonial past and post-colonial emergence. Far from being a mere separatist or religious ideologue, Jinnah was a complex statesman, a constitutionalist who preferred law over rebellion, a modernist who dressed in Savile Row suits, and a leader who fought for minority rights but also helped divide one of the most populous nations on earth. Muhammad Ali Jinnah was born on December 25, 1876, in Karachi, then part of the Bombay Presidency of British India. His family belonged to the Khoja Muslim sect, adherents of the Nizari Ismaili tradition. His father, Jinnah Bhai Punja, was a merchant who had modest success in the trade of goods such as cotton and wool. Jinnah was the eldest of 7 children. His early education was varied. He attended the Sindh Madrasatul Islam and later the Christian mission school. He reportedly showed early signs of independence and ambition. His command of English and ability to navigate Western customs would later serve him exceptionally well. At the age of 16, he was sent to London to join Lincoln's Inn to study law, a decision that would shape the arc of his life. London, during the late 19th century, was a hub of intellectual and political activity. Jinnah was deeply influenced by liberal democratic values, particularly those advocated by figures like William Gladstone. He also closely followed the debates surrounding Irish Home Rule, drawing parallels with India's quest for autonomy. In 1896, Jinnah completed his studies and returned to Bombay, now equipped with a Western legal education and a distinctly British political sensibility. Upon his return to India, Jinnah established a legal practice in Bombay. He quickly gained a reputation as an eloquent and persuasive barrister. His success in high-profile cases brought him into contact with India's political elite. Around the turn of the century, Jinnah joined the Indian National Congress, then the principal vehicle of Indian nationalism. He believed in gradual reform, constitutionalism, and Hindu-Muslim unity. He served as a legal advisor and political aide to Dadabhai Naoroji and Gopal Krishna Gokhale, both moderate nationalists. Gokhale, in particular, became a mentor to Jinnah. During this period, Jinnah opposed the rising tide of extremism within the Congress, particularly the ideas championed by Bal Gangadhar Tilak. Jinnah also criticized British imperial policies, including the Partition of Bengal in 1905, which he viewed as a divisive and cynical maneuver. Jinnah's early political career was marked by optimism. He advocated for Indian self-governance under the British Empire, believing that all communities, Hindus, Muslims, Sikhs, and others, could coexist within a united India. Jinnah's belief in Hindu-Muslim unity culminated in the 1916 Lucknow Pact. As a member of both the Indian National Congress and the All India Muslim League, he helped broker an agreement between the two parties. The pact accepted the principle of separate electorates for Muslims, but also endorsed joint efforts for Indian self-rule. For this, Jinnah was hailed as the ambassador of Hindu-Muslim unity. During these years, Jinnah also served on the Imperial Legislative Council, where he championed civil liberties, education reform, and religious tolerance. He was widely respected for his decorum and logic, and his speeches, delivered in polished English, captivated audiences across the political spectrum. Yet behind the scenes, tensions were mounting. The Khilafat movement from 1919 to 1924 and the rise of mass politics under Mahatma Gandhi began to pull the Congress in a direction Jinnah could not support. Gandhi's use of religion in politics and his call for satyagraha, or non-violent civil disobedience, clashed with Jinnah's belief in constitutional methods and secular politics. By the 1920s, Jinnah had become increasingly alienated from both Congress and Muslim conservatives. The Nehru Report of 1928, which envisioned a future India without separate Muslim electorates, deeply disillusioned him. He submitted his famous 14 points in 1929 outlining Muslim demands, including cultural autonomy, religious freedom, and protection of minorities. But these were largely ignored. Disheartened, Jinnah left active politics and moved to London in 1930. There he practiced law and watched India's politics from afar. During this period, Jinnah's own views began to shift. He began to see Hindu majoritarianism as a real threat to Muslim political and cultural identity. While still committed to constitutionalism, he was now more open to the idea of Muslim nationalism. Jinnah returned to India in 1934 at the urging of Muslim League leaders. The party had weakened in his absence and his leadership was urgently needed. Over the next several years, Jinnah rebuilt the Muslim League into a powerful political force. His leadership style was autocratic but effective. He centralized control and ensured party discipline. The turning point came with the 1937 elections. The Congress Party won major victories and refused to share power with the Muslim League in several provinces. This episode confirmed Jinnah's fears that Muslims would be politically marginalized in a Hindu-dominated India. It galvanized Muslim opinion and gave credence to the idea of a separate homeland. On March 23, 1940, at the annual session of the Muslim League held in Lahore, Jinnah made the historic declaration that Muslims were a separate nation and needed their own independent state. This came to be known as the Lahore Resolution, or more popularly, the Pakistan Resolution. Jinnah's arguments were rooted in history, sociology, and politics. He emphasized that Hindus and Muslims had different religions, cultures, and legal systems, and that no constitution could guarantee Muslim rights in a united India. His powerful oratory made clear Hindus and Muslims belonged to two different religious philosophies, social customs, and literature. To yoke together two such nations under a single state must lead to growing discontent and final destruction. At this stage, the idea of Pakistan was still vague. It did not specify boundaries, governance structures, or even whether it would be a federation or a unitary state, but Jinnah's demand for a separate Muslim homeland had become politically irreversible. The years between 1940 and 1947 were the most intense in Jinnah's political life. As World War II unfolded, Jinnah cleverly used the British need for Indian support to gain political concessions. He refused to support the war effort unless Muslims were guaranteed equal status in any future political arrangement. By 1946, Jinnah had emerged as the sole spokesman of Muslim India. The Muslim League won all Muslim seats in the provincial elections, giving him a powerful mandate. The failure of the cabinet mission plan, due to mutual distrust between Congress and the League, further hardened positions. On August 16, 1946, Jinnah called for Direct Action Day to demonstrate Muslim unity. What followed was horrifying communal violence in Calcutta and beyond. Tensions spiraled, and the British, eager to exit, agreed to partition India. On August 14, 1947, Pakistan was born, with Jinnah as its first Governor-General. Jinnah now had to transform a political idea into a functioning state. Pakistan faced enormous challenges. Over 10 million people crossed the new borders amid unprecedented violence and mass displacement. The new state lacked financial reserves, administrative infrastructure, and even a working capital. Karachi was designated as a temporary capital. Despite his failing health, Jinnah worked tirelessly. He set up the civil service, reorganized the military, and oversaw the framing of Pakistan's early policies. In his address to the Constituent Assembly on August 11, 1947, he outlined his vision for Pakistan. "You may belong to any religion or caste or creed," he said. "That has nothing to do with the business of the state." Jinnah envisioned Pakistan as a secular, democratic state where all citizens would enjoy equal rights. However, his death on September 11, 1948, just 13 months after independence, left many of his goals unfulfilled. Jinnah's legacy is both monumental and contested. In Pakistan, he is revered as Quaid-e-Azm, and his vision continues to shape national debates. Yet, interpretations of his ideals vary. Some see him as a secular liberal who sought a homeland for Muslims, but not a theocratic state. Others view him as a pragmatic nationalist who used religion as a mobilizing force. His secular speeches are often contrasted with the Islamic identity of modern Pakistan. The gap between Jinnah's constitutionalism and the political realities of post-1947 Pakistan, military coups, religious extremism, and ethnic strife, raise difficult questions about the country's founding ideology. Nevertheless, Jinnah's role as the founder of Pakistan is undisputed. His ability to rally a diverse and often fragmented community into a cohesive political movement was nothing short of extraordinary. Muhammad Ali Jinnah remains one of the most consequential figures in South Asian history. His life was a saga of persistence, principle, and political acumen. From his early days as a lawyer and a secular nationalist to his emergence as the creator of Pakistan, Jinnah's journey was marked by both triumph and tragedy. He was a man of paradoxes, an Anglophile who led an anti-colonial struggle, a secular modernist who created a nation in the name of Islam, a reserved and aloof figure who nevertheless inspired mass political mobilization. Through sheer determination, legal brilliance, and unwavering resolve, Jinnah carved out a new nation. For millions. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe to Blistering History.